You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
How Trump made more than $1 billion in a year off a scam, based on an article by The Conversation. The Presidency as a token factory, the real business. The source story explains the crypto mechanics, but the political meaning is simpler. Donald Trump turned the presidency into a revenue stream. He did not merely benefit from the sector. He sat atop the office that can shape regulation, issue pardons, signal legitimacy, and reward loyal financial actors, then use that power to enrich himself and his family at a scale that makes the word conflict feel almost quaint. The disclosure figures matter because they show the office and the money moving together. More than $1 billion from crypto last year. More than $2.3 billion across the family's main crypto ventures since Trump retook office. According to Reuters, that is not incidental side income. That is a governing model. Follow the access, not the jargon. The technical structure of memecoins, governance tokens, and stablecoins is not the story's center. It is the delivery system. This substance is access sold in digital form. The Trump memecoin turned presidential attention into a tradable asset. Buyers could speculate anonymously, and some openly spent $148 million on the coin for dinner seats with Trump. That is not market participation in any meaningful democratic sense. It is a payment channel dressed up as fandom and liquidity. World Liberty Financial is even more blatant. Trump-affiliated entities hold about 60% of the company and are entitled to 75% of net proceeds from token sales. A president's family does not need to run a classic cash-and-envelope racket when it can build a structure that prints money every time the brand moves. They enable us. This did not happen in a vacuum. Binance, which had pleaded guilty to U.S. money laundering violations in 2023, wrote the code underpinning USD1 and promoted it. MGX, a state fund chaired by an Emirati national security advisor, invested $2 billion in Binance and paid in USD1, instantly creating an estimated $80 million a year in interest for the Trump venture. Then the SEC dropped its lawsuit against Binance. Then Trump pardoned Binance founder Changpeng Zhao. That sequence is the point. The source text gives the White House denial its due, but the denial is not evidence. It is cover. When state power, foreign capital, an exchange with a criminal history, and a presidential pardon all converge around the same family venture, the issue is not confusion. It is institutionalized favoritism with a balance sheet. The favorite lie. This is just crypto. The crypto industry has spent years asking for clearer rules, and the Genius Act may indeed clarify some of them, but that does not sanitize the corruption surrounding Trump's own ventures. It makes the contrast sharper. A regulator can write rules. A president can turn those rules into leverage. The problem is not simply that Trump used a new asset class. The problem is that he used the power of office to make his asset class inevitable for the people who wanted access, protection, or a seat at the table. That is why the How Crypto Works section, while useful, also risks obscuring the main issue. The money followed political power, not market genius. No, this is not normal. The source says Trump's dealings are without precedent, and that is too polite to capture the scale of the breach. The precedent being set is straightforward. If you can buy the president's coin, you can buy proximity to the presidency itself. That is what this story reveals. Not a quirky billionaire dabbling in digital finance, but a governing class that treats public office as private inventory. The machinery of democracy is still there, but Trump's crypto empire shows how quickly it can be repurposed into a monetization platform when the people holding the levers decide that nothing should stand between power and profit. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Alternate for today's article. With the automated voice of John, thanks for listening.